Welcome to Master Mind Meld. 5 contestants will compete for the coveted bragging rights to knowing the most about Star Trek. Each will have to answer questions on general Star Trek knowledge as well as their specialist chosen subject. Only 2 will go through to the final, but who will be crowned the Master Mind Melder? Welcome back to the final of Master Mind Meld. I'm Stu Jackson, your host, and with us we have our 2 highest scorers in the season so far. We welcome back Craig. How are you doing, Craig?
Not too bad, Nathan. Very good.
Not too
Long,
bad. You
long day at work and absolutely bricking it about this, but here we go.
so perfectly well prepared then. Are you
Is it?
excited to be in the final?
Surprised.
Surprised. Fantastic. And we welcome back as well Jeremiah.
Hello.
Jeremiah representing there in the Kirk top again. So how about yourself? Are you surprised? Are you
I guess
not
I am.
surprised?
I feel like I know less today, so we'll see how it is. I felt more prepared last time, but we'll see what happens.
Right. Well, there is a little bit of a twist in the final, as we discussed off air. So, we're going to be having your own specialist subjects again. More questions on those. This time with the time limit of 90 seconds rather than the 2 minutes previously. We will be having more general knowledge questions, Star Trek general knowledge, obviously, as before. And we will be having a very special specialist round where you will each be answering questions on each other's specialist subject. So that should throw a bit of a fly in the ointment, unless, of course, you are a master mind melder. See, that's where it all works out. It is all a thing, honest. Anyway,
See?
so we got to meet you both last time in the solo session, so let's dive straight in to our first round on this final. Jeremiah, you scored highest in the solo round, so you will be going first. Craig, I'm going to be putting you into the pattern buffer whilst we do this round, so don't go anywhere. Watch out for those transporter worms. They can be a bit of a nightmare. We will be seeing you again shortly. There we go. That is Craig off comfortably in the pattern buffer, but I'm assuming comfortably. We will see. So, Jeremiah, can you remind us what your specialist subject is?
Chief Miles Edward O'Brien.
Indeed, it is the man himself. So, with a time limit of 1 minute 30 seconds this time, Jeremiah, are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am.
In which case, good luck, and let's begin. In Deep Space Nine, which episode? The episode Whispers, a replicant of O'Brien was created to be a sleeper agent for which Gamma Quadrant government?
The Steren? No.
Incorrect. It was the Parada government. Miles kept a pet Lycosa tarantula aboard the Enterprise D. What was her name?
Pass.
What color shirt does O'Brien wear in the Next Generation pilot episode Encounter at Farpoint?
Red.
Correct. What title was bestowed upon Miles in order to rally the people of a Bajoran village against the Dal Rock?
The Storyteller?
Incorrect. It was the Syrah. In the Deep Space Nine episode Honor Amongst Thieves, O'Brien tells Bilby he is dating a florist. What name did he give Bilby for her?
Pass.
O'Brien served aboard the USS Rutledge under which captain?
Benjamin Maxwell.
Correct. In the Next Generation episode Data's Day, Miles marries Keiko, but what was Keiko's maiden name?
Ishigara.
Very close. I will give you half a point for that. Whilst disguised, I've started, so I'll finish. Whilst disguised as Enterprise crew in the episode Trials and Tribulations, what rank did O'Brien display on his sleeves?
Lieutenant.
Incorrect. It was ensign. And with that, you scored 2.5 points. You answered, how many did you answer? Because I forgot to number them. You answered 8 questions. You got 3 incorrect. And you passed on 2. The ones you passed on, Miles's pet Lycosa tarantula was named Christina.
Of course.
And in Honor Amongst Thieves, O'Brien tells Bilby he is dating someone called Kimiko. The one that I'm giving you half a point on, you gave Ishigawa as the maiden name for Keiko. It was Ishikawa.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're very, very close with that. I think that was deserving of half a point. Very well done. Let's bring Craig back out of that transporter buffer. Should be joining us any second now. There he is. How was the transporter buffer?
Tingly.
Tingling all over. Fantastic. Okay, well, Jeremiah, get ready to tingle because we're going to send you into the transporter buffer as we go for Craig's specialist subject. We will see you in a moment.
I'm sure it actually had 2 arms to begin with.
Fantastic. So, your specialist subject. Can you remind us what your specialist subject is?
The original 6 motion pictures.
The original 6 movies. Okay, so are you ready for 1 minute 30 seconds on your specialist subject?
Let's dive in.
In which case, good luck and let's begin. Which Star Trek movie was the first ever movie tie-in promotion with McDonald's Happy Meals?
Motion picture.
Correct. At the start of The Undiscovered Country, how long does Captain Sulu state he has been in command of the Excelsior?
Oh, was it 18 months?
Incorrect. It was 3 years.
3 years.
In the voyage home, Admiral Cartwright contacts a starship that has been disabled and is planning to deploy a makeshift solar sail. What ship was this?
Saratoga?
Incorrect. It was the USS Yorktown.
Yorktown.
Which San Francisco park does the Bounty land in during the voyage home?
Oh, pass. Can't remember.
The famous opening monologue of Star Trek was changed from its 5-year mission to her ongoing mission for which movie?
Star Trek 2.
Correct. Which of the first 6 Star Trek movies is the only one not to feature any Klingon characters?
Any Klingon characters? Star Trek 2.
Correct. The original script for the motion picture was written by Gene Roddenberry and was called what?
The God Thing?
Correct. Who voiced the... Oh, I've started, so I'll finish. Who voiced the Excelsior turbo lift in Star Trek 3 when Scotty responds, "Up your shaft"?
Pass.
And with, I believe it's 8, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 questions answered. You got 2 incorrect and you passed on 2, but a total of 4. Well done there. The ones you passed on, which San Francisco park does the Bounty land in during the voyage
Golden
home?
Gate Park.
Golden Gate Park, indeed. Yeah. And the voice of the Excelsior turbo lift in Star Trek 3 was voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
Level, please.
That's the one. That's the one. Fantastic. So let's bring Jeremiah out of the transporter buffer before he gets transporter psychosis. And welcome back. Are you tingly as well, Jeremiah?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I keep thinking people who I know are dead are alive. It's very odd.
Fantastic. Well, at the end of the first round, I can tell you, Jeremiah, you scored a total of 2.5 points. Craig, you scored a total of 4.
Wow. Very good.
So this means that, Craig, you're going first in the Star Trek General Knowledge round. So, Jeremiah, would you like to take a deep breath before I send you back into that transporter buffer? Here we go. So again, with 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock, your Star Trek General Knowledge round. Are you ready?
Go for it.
And we'll begin. Green Harvest was the working title codename for which Star Trek series?
Discovery?
Correct. The name Soji translates from Japanese as foundation as an homage to which prolific robot fiction writer who also wrote the Foundation series of books?
Isaac Asimov.
Correct. Who was the owner of Desilu Studios, often referred to as Star Trek's godmother?
Lucille Bondel and Desi Arnaz.
Correct. In Lower Decks, what class of ship is the USS Cerritos?
Is it California class?
Correct. In Prodigy, what race does Rock Tark belong to?
Pass.
In Voyager, what instrument does Ensign Harry Kim play?
The oboe?
Incorrect, it's the clarinet.
Clarinet, that was
Patrick
close.
Stewart is one of only 2 actors to appear in all 178 Next Generation episodes. Who is the other?
Brent Spiner?
Incorrect, it is Jonathan Frakes.
And fakes. Yeah.
Star Trek canon tells us that the Enterprise A has 23 decks, but how many are shown in the turbolift shaft in Star Trek V: The Final Frontier?
78.
Correct. And who created... I've started, so I'll finish. Who created the Klingon language for the movie Star Trek III: The Search for Spock?
Mark Okrand.
Correct. And
Originally though, it was James Doohan for the motion picture.
you did indeed. That's why I specified for Star Trek 3. So you're absolutely correct there. You don't get bonus points for that, but you do get some bragging rights there. So with the total of 9 questions answered, you got 2 incorrect and you passed on 1. The one you passed on in Prodigy, Rock Tark is a member of the
Medusan
race.
Okay. Is he the one who's a Medusan?
There is a Medusan on board.
Yeah.
But Rock Tark is the Bricken. So that gives you a total of 6 points for that round. Now let's bring Jeremiah back out of the transporter buffer. Should be joining us in just a second. Here we go. There we are. Jeremiah, that's a double session you've had in the transporter buffer there.
No.
How are you feeling?
Discombobulated.
Okay, well, let's see if we can discombobulate Craig as we send you back into the transporter buffer. Here we go. And he's gone. I think he was about to say something as well. That was rude of me. Jeremiah, are you ready for your general knowledge Star Trek questions?
Yes, I am. Yes, indeed.
Okay, so let's begin. Green Harvest was the working title codename for which Star Trek series?
Voyager?
Incorrect, it was Discovery. The name Soji translates from Japanese as foundation as an homage to which prolific robot fiction author who also wrote the Foundation series of books?
Isaac Asimov.
Correct. Who was the owner of Desilu Studios, often referred to as Star Trek's godmother?
Desi, it's in the Name, excuse me, this I swore. Oh my God, pass. I know it, but damn it. God damn it. I know that.
In lower decks, what class of ship is the USS Cerritos?
Pass. What the heck? My brain is broken today. This is bad.
In Prodigy, what race does Roktak belong to?
Pass. Even though I know it.
In Voyager, what instrument does Ensign Harry Kim play?
Clarinet.
Correct. Patrick Stewart is one of only 2 actors to appear in all 178 Next Generation episodes. Who is the other?
Jonathan Frakes.
Correct. Star Trek canon tells us that the Enterprise A, and I've started, so I'll finish. The Enterprise A has 23 decks, but how many are shown in the turbolift shaft in Star Trek V: The Final Frontier?
56.
Incorrect. It was 78.
78. Ridiculous.
So, Jeremiah, you answered 8 questions in total. You passed on 3 and you got 2 incorrect. The 3 you passed on, the owner of Desilu Studios was Lucille Ball. You may
Lucille
kick
Ball.
yourself
I know
now.
Desilu. It's Desi Arnell and Lucille Ball, hence Desilu. Oh my goodness gracious me.
Absolutely. In lower decks, the USS Cerritos is a California class.
California class are all in. Those are Californian cities. Yeah.
Indeed, often referred to as a Cali class. And in Prodigy, Roktak is a Bricar.
Mm.
Of the
How
Bricar
annoying.
race.
It's just not coming out today. Oh well. The days that have it.
So, Jeremiah, you scored 3 points there. So
Terrible.
well done for that. Let's bring Craig
Absolutely
back
terrible.
into
Goodness gracious.
Okay, so well done to both of you. We'll recap the scores.
The scrub job. Yep.
Scores.
Oh, easy for you to see.
It is indeed. We'll recap the scores in just a moment after this quick break. Don't go anywhere. That's an order.
Welcome to Planet Marzipan Podcast,
Your Fish and Marillion podcast.
where we talk about all things in the planet of Marillion and fish. I'm Meza, and here's my mate.
Craig Houston.
In a world of heroes, villains, 6 British actors will come together to play Pathfinder. It's sort of like D&D, but also really not like D&D. Join Falter.
I immediately regret this decision!
Caragor.
Oh, I see you, Kenneth.
Velda.
Behold my arcane powers!
Shania.
Yes, I've cracked your case!
M.
No, kill him.
And the Dungeon Master for an actual play podcast that takes adventure seriously. Available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and from DangerClubPodcast.com. Danger Club, let's roll. God, doing that voice hurts.
So welcome back to the final of Master Mind Meld, and it's already turning to be quite exciting with our scores so far. But first of all, a big thanks to whoever it was that we stuck an advert in for. Do use that product, service, or government system, whatever it was. Now, at the end of the second round, the general knowledge, Jeremiah, you scored a total of 3 points in that round, putting you on 5.5 points. Craig, however, you scored a whopping 6 points, putting you on 10 points. So that's a 4.5 point that you need to pick up there, Jeremiah. How are you feeling about that?
Not great. I don't think my brain is fully working today, to be honest. But that's just what happens. Yeah, there was a number of questions there which I did know, but for some reason, not in the moment that it was important to know them. Only the moment after they all came out. But yeah, it's not great. I don't think we'll see. We'll see.
It's being under pressure in that moment makes a world of difference, doesn't it?
Completely.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you can put your feet up for the moment, Jeremiah, because I'm going to be sending you back into the pattern buffer for one last time as we go to the final round. And Craig will be answering questions on your specialist subject, Jeremiah. Would you like to tell Craig what your specialist subject is?
Chief Miles Edward O'Brien.
To be sure.
There we go.
He never says, which is why he's a good character.
We'll pop you back into that pattern buffer, so we will see you again in a moment. So there we are, Craig. Chief Miles Edward O'Brien. How do you feel about that?
Eek.
Okay. Do you think Jeremiah might reclaim a lead at this
I
point?
think he might just.
Right. Well, if you're ready, should we give it a go?
Come on then.
Best of luck to you as we start the final round for 90 seconds, starting now. In which season of The Next Generation do we discover O'Brien's first name is Miles?
Season 4?
Correct. What post was O'Brien initially offered at Starfleet Academy as established in the Deep Space Nine episode What We Leave Behind?
A teacher at the academy.
I will give you that. It's
Engineering,
Professor of
yeah.
Engineering.
Just like engineering, yeah.
Miles O'Brien was born in Ireland in the town of Killarney, which is in which county?
Pass.
What was the name of O'Brien's hallucinated cellmate in the Deep Space Nine episode Hard Time?
Oh, pass. Can't remember that now.
What rank did O'Brien hold when he first transferred to the Enterprise D?
He was a chief petty officer.
Correct.
Yeah.
One of O'Brien's ancestors was a Union man who participated in the Pennsylvania Coal Strike of 1902. What was his full name?
Pass.
According to Captain Picard, which of the Enterprise D transporter rooms was O'Brien's favorite?
It's a transporter room 2.
Incorrect. It was transporter room 3. What musical instrument does Miles play?
Oh, I only seen him do that once. Is it the violin?
Incorrect. It's the cello, and we
Cello,
are out
yeah.
of time. So, having answered 8 questions, you got 2 incorrect, passed on 3, giving you a score of 3 and a grand total of 13. Hopefully, lucky for some. The ones you passed on, Miles O'Brien was born in the town of Killarney, which is in County Kerry.
Right.
O'Brien's hallucinated cellmate in the episode Hard Time was Echar.
Yeah.
And his ancestor, the Union man, was Sean Aloysius O'Brien. So there we are. Let's bring Jeremiah back out of that transporter buffer. He should be joining us any moment now. There we are. So there we go. That was an interesting round, to say the least, but we shall say no more as we pop you back into the transporter buffer there, Craig, for the final time. We will see you shortly. There we are. Actually, I'm going to bring Craig straight back out of the transporter room because he didn't tell you. So apologies, Craig. We're bringing you straight back out it again. Before we put you back in, please tell Jeremiah what your specialist subject is.
My specialist subject was the motion pictures 1 through 6.
Okay. Cool.
He'll do
That's
great.
an optimistic look right there. Let's see how Jeremiah does.
Specific than my one.
As we pop you back into that transporter buffer. Thank you, Craig. Okay. Right, yeah, so The movie's 1 to 6. How do you feel about that?
Okay, tentatively okay, but we never know how the brain operates under pressure. So we'll see.
Should we find out how it's going to operate?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the very best of luck to you, Jeremiah, for this final round of Master Mind Meld. And we begin now. What unstable matter did David Marcus use in the creation of the... Correct. Which movie contains the only time we hear the line, Scotty beam me up, from Captain Kirk?
Voyage Home.
Correct. René Auberjonois is perhaps best known in Star Trek for portraying Odo in Deep Space Nine, but what was his character's rank and name? Correct. In Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, who is the only person on screen to mention Commander Krug's name?
Pass. Which
shuttlecraft lands on Shakari in The Final Frontier?
Galileo 2.
Incorrect. It was Copernicus. In Star Trek V, an Earth probe is destroyed by Klar in command of a Klingon bird of prey as target practice. What was the name of the probe?
The Pioneer.
Would you like to give me a number or leave it at Pioneer?
3.
I'll give you half a point. It was Pioneer 10. In Star Trek The Motion Picture, what was the only prop to have been retained from the original series?
Medical scanner.
Incorrect. It was Uhura's earpiece. In Star Trek 6, whilst travelling aboard the Enterprise to Rora Pente, Uhura communicates with a Klingon listening post in the Klingon language. I've started, so I'll finish. What does she tell them is the name of the freighter they are on?
Oh, pass.
I'm going to have to push you.
I can see the scene in my head.
Okay. So, with a total of 8 questions answered, you passed on 2. You got 2 incorrect, and one of them you got half a point. So, the ones you passed on, in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, the only person on screen to mention Commander Krug's name is Valkyris. And the Klingon ship that Uhura claims they are on in Star Trek 6 is the IKS Ursva.
Okay.
But you scored a total of 3.5 points there, which was absolutely cracking. Well, let's bring Craig back in from the transporter buffer, and we will run our total scores. Now, I need to... I've got far too many pieces of paper now. So that's 4.5, plus 3.5. Okay.
Carry the 2.
So, yeah, something like that. So, our final scores are in. But to both of you, how do you feel having done this?
Good. I mean, frustrated because of this last the general knowledge round. I should have done much better at. There was a question repeated in the second Miles O'Brien from the first time I did it, which was Parada, which I had read this morning and instantly forgot. So frustrated at my mind, but apart from that, it was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. And Craig?
I'm just amazed I'm here.
Well, would you both do it again? This is
yeah, just for giggles, yeah. Realize how much Trek knowledge is actually shoved up there in the little noggin.
Well, I mean, you both did absolutely fantastic, and you both deserve a massive round of applause. But our scores are in that last round. Craig, you scored 3 points. Jeremiah, you scored 3.5, which means that with a total of 9 for Jeremiah and 13 points for Craig, you are the Master Mind Melder. Can I say for season 1? There might not be a season 2, but But very, very well done to both of you and
thank
to
you.
all our contestants. It's been a huge amount of fun doing this. Hopefully you've both had fun doing it. It sounds like you have.
Yep.
Well done, Jeremiah. Mate.
Well done. Well done on that ridiculous. I mean, the movies was a much easier subject than Chief O'Brien, I think.
Oh yeah.
Very specific. What was the name of his spider?
Fantastic. So hopefully we'll see you on other future broadcasts. Watch this space. But before we go, as our crowned winner, Craig, do you have a message for the viewers?
Keep on trekking and get yourself excited, ready for the next season of Strange New Worlds. And I'm actually starting to get excited for Academy now, looking at the casting.
Yeah. What about Section 31? You never mentioned that.
Yeah, that's the trailer. You've had conversations about this before, because
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of almost wholly unnecessary. But seeing the trailer and how much fun this could be, I'm on board.
Fantastic. Are you looking forward to those as well, Jeremiah?
I'm looking forward to the next season of Strange New Worlds. That trailer for Section 31, I'm not entirely sure about, but I'll watch it. I'm excited by the fact that it's set during the Lost Era, apparently, with Rachel Garrett. Although it doesn't look like it is, but we'll see. I want some burgundy. Give me some burgundy uniforms.
Get the Monster Maroon out. We miss it.
Exactly.
The update was very good in Strange New Worlds. That's the version of the Monster Maroon that I've got. Well, I'm a great believer that even bad Trek is good Trek, except for the very short treks. They can just jump in a volcano. Anyway. But apart from that, so on that cheerful note, yes.
On that swearing note, behave yourself. You don't want to get an explicit rating.
It's a new Trek. I mean, he's in the new Trek uniform. He can swear all he likes.
Absolutely. Right. Well, thank you for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed this. Throw your comments in below if you think that Craig's win was well deserved, or if it wasn't. Do tell us, and we'll pass that on. And yeah, watch out for new stuff coming to Hailing Frequencies in the near future. In the meantime, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. And live long and prosper. Take care.
Take care, guys.
Take care.